Miss Teddy and like Harry's got the record, I think.
I think Harry wins for the record. Dick and Joy though, they're up there.
The Harry's never misses. 3 a.m. in Australia. Harry's there.
He's
All
probably
right,
sleeping. He's probably
there we
sleeping.
go.
He's has his head back in his pillow. There he is.
There he is. We got him,
Hey,
Dr.
Harry.
Yeah,
Joe. All right,
nobody's
welcome
beat.
everybody on
Nobody's beat.
YouTube.
Nah.
Welcome. We are live. We are live from. We are all over the world. We have Australia in the house. We have Canada in the house. We are just worldwide with these goodies, and we're probably going to talk about the best product in the planet, the award-winning Food Freshness Card. And the Food Freshness Card has one. RJ, should we share some of these things real quick
Yeah,
on the screen?
yeah. Let's show some of our good
I'm going to
stuff.
share some stuff because you know what? Sometimes you just got to say attaboy.
Do
All
you
right?
see what I see? Because I
I do.
got
We
four
got the
screens.
energetic health and wellness. And, I look at this slide, I see the beach. I want to be in Florida with Dr. Joe. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be us, Dr. Joe.
I'm in
I'm gonna
Florida.
be the boat in the water, and we're both
Yeah.
going to be happy.
Yep.
So we love that. So RJ, flip it, buddy. But you know
Flipping.
what? Those little banners on top are real. This is our Saturday Zoom event. We're always happy to have you live 11 o'clock Eastern time. But we are happy for you to come by anytime, wherever you are. This is really the biggest thing. We have won 14 industry awards, and these are major, including the Gold Medal Edison Award. We've been Best Food Safety Solution 3 years in a row at United Fresh, and that's voted on over 5,000 supermarket people and people in the industry. It isn't just we put our product in, it's everybody that attends the annual conference voted that. So the best food safety solution, nobody's won it 2 years in a row. We won it 3 years in a row. RJ, we're proud of that. Next,
Yeah.
the Food Freshness Card is U.S. patented. The name of the patent is Food Freshness Card. Who holds it? My sons and myself. And, one of the other good things is we've been live on Stuart Varney and Company on Fox News. We've been featured in USA Today. We have sold millions around the world. And this cool baby is basically the Food Freshness Card has been laboratory tested to increase the shelf life of fruits, vegetables, and breads for over 50%. That's huge. All right. And does it work? Absolutely. Here's one of the biggest things that's very cool about our product. We've been out now for probably about 8 years, and everybody who's had it has good things to say. And we're really proud of that because we don't want you to ever not like our product. We want you to love it. And that's all I hear about is how this product has helped people. And, in today's, I made a beef stew today, and, fresh produce is expensive. Like, I never thought of it that way, but I bought broccoli, carrots, I brought cauliflower. I bought all the stuff for my beef stew, and the beef wasn't the most expensive part. That's what's the wild part. And it used to be the other way. And I put a lot of beef in my stew. So, anyways, these are things. Welcome, Singapore. Eric just tuned in. So,
We have to feed it to him.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I had to mute the lines real quick. And now let's get you unmuted.
Where am I?
sorry about that. I got
There we
muted.
go.
Good
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Ron.
Welcome, everybody. So going back, the Food Freshness Card is truly amazing. So it's one of the things, it's got a lot of purposes. You put it under your vegetables if you have like a vegetable tray or a fruit tray. It goes in your fridge, but I don't know right behind me if you could see those flowers. You put it under the flowers. Those flowers are a month old. My daughter got them from her first boyfriend, and she wants to save them forever. So what do? I put it on the Food Freshness. Okay. I got to walk over there so you see it. These things are over a month old, and I don't know. Can you see it, Arch? There we go.
That's it.
All right.
Yep.
That's what the Food Freshness Card helps. And plants love it. People love it. So, anyways, today I can tell you how wonderful it is. I can show you how wonderful it is, but I want to hear from our people, Arj. So
There
if
we
we
go.
can
Now
let's
we
start
got
with
you.
my hardworking buddy, Nate. Can you unmute Nate? And Nate, tell us, please, Nate. Well, first, where are you? And then,
Well, I'm in I'm in Ohio, here at work, but loving life. And one of the very first products I got after the Earthing Card was the Food Freshness Card, and it has to be a staple in everything you have in the arsenal, if you want to call it that, of things to have, because the amazing technology of whatever's in this thing. I know it's a lot of technology is patented stuff, but it's all good. But the first experience was food not going bad. Like you just said, Rick, produce that is normally goes bad. We get organic as much as we can, but even the non-organic stuff is starting to go bad in general pretty quickly when I see it in the refrigerator at work. But at home, it lasts 2 to 3 times longer. The water is another interesting component of this Food Freshness Card. I started running water over it and keeping my water under it. I was using a Earthing Card, which is great too, but the Food Freshness Card just makes the water taste better. It feels better. It's hard to explain. And of course, just the overall savings in food and just having it, then I know I've said it before, you forget about how good it is and how long it lasts, how long your produce lasts, how long your breads last, how long things last in the fridge. Great for plants. My daughter's got one. She's using it on her plants indoors. They're green, they're flourished. I don't know all the chemistry behind it, but I will tell you, this is an amazing device. I have to call it a device because that to me is what it is. It's technology. It's not just a card. It's really a high technology device that is used to create something that's amazing. There's some other uses that aren't necessarily for food. I'm not going to get into that now, but I will say if somebody has a bellyache, you might want to consider putting it on your belly because, and just real quick, the wife had a stomach ache, but I said, put this on your stomach. Now, she knows really nothing about a lot of this stuff, but she said, wow, my stomach's starting to feel better. I said, I know. But so I'm going to leave it at that. I know that's not his purpose, but it's multifaceted. It's really amazing. I've got them everywhere. I think they're a great product, a must have in everybody. So that's kind of my little testimony.
thank you, Nate. Nate, it is always a pleasure. All right, I got to tell everybody. All right, I know we're supposed to talk about the Food Freshness Card, Arch, but in my family, I am known as a cast iron stomach. I can eat anything. And like I may burp, everyone else will get sick. I may burp. Like I have a cast iron stomach. Well, I ate some food and my stomach was grumbling. And I laid down with a Food Freshness Card on my belly for a half an hour. And everyone else was violently ill. I was fine in 30 minutes. It is amazing. And if you have a stomach ache, you'll be amazed. Put it on your stomach. It does, you have a gut biome with millions and billions of bacteria in there. And the Food Freshness Card does wonderful things with the bacteria. So, you know what, Art? We got to cut over to Dick Matwishin because I know we want to hear about food, but Dick has a great story about stomach. Dick, tell us.
Okay, well, it was one of our friends who had joined us in here. Amazing story with that. She was on the calls all the time back at those days, and she had a let's say a lower infection in the body. Okay. And for 2 years that she had tried everything natural to get rid of. And when you talked about your stomach in one of the calls at that time, she went and tucked her Food Freshness Card in the front of her pants. And within a matter of days, basically, she got better. Okay. So of course it's cutting down on bacteria, fungus, and everything else. So why not something that's natural, I'll say, within the body to cut it down so your immune system can help take care of it. So she was absolutely thrilled with that. Now back to food. Joy and I were going on vacation. So on a Thursday, we bought this huge thing of organic red grapes, which usually don't last very long with us. they didn't make it into the cooler to go on vacation. So we came back on the following Friday, and there were the red grapes. But guess what? We have multiple food freshness cards, one in each bin, one on the side for our milk, two on the door facing in. So they were well treated with frequencies from the food freshness card, and they were sweet. There wasn't anything detrimental about them. So we ate them over the next 4 days, basically, because they were so good too. Seemed sweeter than normal even so. But I got to tell you this other thing. So a friend of mine I'd met, and she had wanted some products, one of them being a food freshness card. And I told her about the BOGO that had been going on. And she said, okay, I'll take 2 of them then. Okay. So I met her. She went to a seafood store, which was right by where we lived. And I ran home and got her another food freshness card, met her as she finished up. So she took the food freshness card home and a whole beautiful piece of salmon. Well, she had a family emergency go on and never got to the salmon. She happened to put the card in the refrigerator, put the salmon on top of the card, and 2 weeks later, she ate the salmon. It was fresh as the day that she got it. So she was thrilled with that. Yeah, I was wow too with that. So it really works. We've got them the same thing. I treat my water with it. Have one against my water bottle, the big container, 2-gallon container of water. So it's getting the overnight treatment. And I've always done what you say, Rick, leave some in the bottom that's already treated with frequencies and then add to it. So we do all of that, plus under the mattress. So it's absolutely great. Food that's we have one that's on the counter. And so we have organic bone broth there, containers, the bananas go there first, and everything else goes there to be treated while we're waiting to either put it in the refrigerator or to use it up. So it's we're treated all the time with it, the frequencies. It's great. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Dick. I got to tell you now, my story. Hold on, Arch. The story about my stomach. We ate some sushi at a party, and we all went back home, and my stomach was grumbling. I got a phone call from everybody else violently ill. I said, yeah, my stomach's kind of growling, but I'm fine now. But it was fish. 2 weeks on fish, Dick.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's
Yeah.
like 3 days, 5 days max.
Yep.
But
They were thrilled after paying that much for the salmon. I'll tell
right.
you.
Salmon's not cheap.
No.
So we love hearing that. Arj, I know we want to talk about the food benefits,
But there's other benefits.
there's another benefit to women. You can say it, Arj. Just
I don't know how to say that. We gotta say this politically correct.
okay.
So,
There's a time of the month that women have that men don't have. All I can say is a significant friend of RJ's decided that those days are made for food freshness cards on the belly. And those days are much better now so how's that, Arj? Am I
think
politically
it's
correct?
yeah, that's
I
that
walk
was-
in the fine line. All right.
It's still good. Like we said, it's multifaceted, and it's mentioned before. With stomach issues, it's
Yeah. And again, it's not designed for that, but we get told that from our practitioners in real life. We hear these stories, and sometimes you find other uses. Dr. Joe, we want to hear from. Are you in Pittsburgh?
Dr.
I'm
Joe.
actually in
Boom.
Boardman, Ohio. Boardman near Youngstown.
Okay, we're up in Ohio now. All right,
Yeah.
talk to us, Dr. Joe.
Well, my fiance Diane is she's really picky about like expiration dates and how long's this food been in the refrigerator and is it good or bad? How long these eggs been there? And she said one time, she goes, "You've had these same eggs in there for like 6 months." I go, "Yeah." And she says, "Well, should we throw them away?" I said, "No, cook them." Salmon, like months. Fruit, like a long time. And it's like the expiration date on stuff, I don't believe they should even put it like on vitamins and stuff. So if you put all this stuff on food freshness cards, it's going to make it last longer. Also, underneath my CPAP, like six of them underneath my in my bed, like in my car, in my office, my refrigerator in the office, on top of any water or anything goes on a fruit freshness card. I think I probably bought 1,000 of those things, and you probably given me quite a few too, Rick, thanks to you and RJ. But I'm telling you, you got to have these things. And sometimes I forget, if I go to a restaurant, I should carry a couple of these cards and just put them down like a placemat. And guess what? It's going to make your food better. It's going to make it healthier. And then people are going to say, "What's that?" And all of a sudden you send them to Rick and RJ and they start selling products based on what we say. But I don't, it's amazing, Rick. It really is. And I can't stay away from this stuff. It's like after you get involved in something, you kind of get tired of it, and well, you go down some beaten road and you go somewhere else. I can't stay away from these products, Rick.
Well, Dr. Joe, thank you. You brought up something about expiration dates.
Yeah.
When we first made the card, my wife is a nutritionalist and organic, spends a fortune on food, and she used to look at the dates.
Yeah.
Yogurt in particular, and the dates are absolutely irrelevant now.
Right.
Like, there isn't anything that in yogurt, we've had yogurt for 3 months after the date. It worked. It's still just, we always tell people, let it pass the smell test.
Yeah.
But it's called good for use for date, not,
Yeah.
And it's amazing about some products we have that just, the date's totally irrelevant. And I used to hate throwing all this good food away.
Right.
So,
Right. And the other
Yep.
part is, Mamie, she comes to Pittsburgh, and long story, I buy 4 separate roses, one for Mamie, one for my daughter, baby shower, one for Diane, and then one for my sister-in-law, Karen. And Jackie takes her roses and takes them home. Karen goes back to Harrisburg, forgets her roses. Diane takes her roses home. So I have 2 roses in the house, and Mamie's still there. And Mamie's are yellow, and Karen's are white. So I put Mamie's in a special vase, and I put a freshness card underneath that vase. There's the other vase that's on the other side of the kitchen, way away, that I didn't put on freshness cards. Well, Mamie's yellow flowers lasted 2 weeks without one petal falling. And the other one, the petals came off in like 3 or 4 days. Seriously.
It's amazing with flowers. Can we get Bev Ellis to unmute? She just texted us.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see if we can get.
Hi.
Hi, Bev.
Hey!
Welcome, Canada. We want to hear your accent. And then we want to go to Australia and hear Harry's accent.
Yeah, well, yes, we did have snow. The plow just left.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I was just wanting to let you know that my mom turned 100, or when she turned 100, she was given 100 roses by her nieces and nephews. And so I put food cards all under them. And 2 weeks later, they were still fresh. And they stayed up straight, and they were just awesome.
We love hearing that. Yes, flowers absolutely love the food freshness card. We had a doctor that got flowers delivered every week to his office. I don't remember who he was, but he told me about this. And every week they had fresh flowers in a pot, and it was a delivery. And we actually made the flower company mad because he changed it to every 2 weeks. Because when they went to pick them up after 1 week, the flowers were still perfect.
I believe it.
And that's exactly the story we got is, Rick, I got to tell you, you kind of made somebody upset. I'm like, who? He goes, well, we used to get flowers once a week. Now it's twice. And he goes, now, even when they pick them up after the second week, when they change, they actually come deliver a new bouquet, a centerpiece. They're like shaking their head because after 2 weeks, they still look good.
Yeah.
So we love that your 100-year-old mother could do, first, God bless her for 100 years.
Yes.
Harry and I are determined to make it there, just so you know.
Good.
So,
And you will too.
all right.
Yeah.
I thank you.
I've got,
Eric, let's hear from Eric in Singapore.
yeah, all the way from Singapore. I've got
Let's
3 things
hear
I have to say about the food freshness part. It works. It works. It works. But I actually have one on my pillow, one in the middle of my back and one at the end of my feet. And I had sciatica of my right leg for a long time. I went on a vacation, and when I went to get up out of the plane, I could hardly walk. And I came back to Singapore in a wheelchair. That was 6 or 7 years ago. And since I had used the Freshness Card, 3 of them in my bed, the sciatica is gone. I still have a little bit of an ache of an ankle because that, unfortunately, I had an accident when I was 18, and it was dislocated and they didn't put it back correctly. So the gristle between the 2 bones is gone. And so that is a little bit of a twitch every now and again. And I put one near the ankle while I'm sleeping, and that certainly reduces the swelling. And again, I endorse it for what it was designed for. In my fridge, again, I find I have a guest every now and then, oh, you can't eat this, it's well past the sell-by date. I said, well, smell it. Well, it smells okay. So why bother about the sell-by date? That still smells fresh as well. So a lot of people are confused with sell-by dates because the manufacturers use a sell-by date to make sure that you don't keep it forever. And we're screwing them up. So from that point of view, don't get tied down by sell-by dates. Use your own test bud and smell. And if you feel happy with it, it should be okay. And you can eat the roses as well. They're good for you.
Awesome. Let me just say thank you, Eric, in Singapore. You know, our food freshness card keeps food fresh, but it also helps keep people fresh. Like real world. He's not wrong. Like, you know, the energy of the card is huge. We had the bovine testing, but the smell test, everybody, please just do the smell test. Like, you know, the other thing, I cook a lot. When I cook, I make big quantities. I have leftovers in Tupperware all the time. And mine all seals 4 ways, but there's no slime on my leftovers. And my kids come home and they always search my fridge. When RJ comes by, he's looking for meat or something. There's no slime. And I can have leftovers in the fridge and it doesn't grow that slime that you get. So there's another big bonus for, you know, leftovers.
You know, you mentioned the Bovie test real quick. I'd like to show the quick video of this.
Quick video?
Yeah, the quick.
All right, let's see the quick video on the All right, here we go. The bovine test. Can we play it?
We can do this.
This is amazing. Our card got sent to a lab in Amsterdam to get tested for energy.
Here we go.
The bovine value is a measurement of the life energy, of the vital force in products and in people. And it's called after a physician in France. He was between the First and the Second World War responsible for the quality of the food of the French soldiers. And he was an expert in doing radiesthesia, measuring the bovine value. And for every fruit and vegetables, he knew after 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 days what the vitality, the bovine value of the vegetables were. So when a bunch of fruit was delivered at the military, he could easily measure the vitality, and then he knew, it's okay for another week, for another 2 weeks. So it was a quality test for how fresh and how vital the vegetables are.
So now let's go to the food freshness card. You tested that. How did you test it?
Well, exactly the same way, just spreading water over it. And this card is 2 times bigger than the earthing card. But I was really amazed. 73,800 bovine value just by pouring water over it.
That's a 400% increase. Now, if this was near food, what do you think it would do to our food? Because first of all, let's start with water. We are 60 to 70% water. Nobody fights that. Fruit, vegetables, high percentage of water. Water picks up everything. Water's a great substrate. So if the food freshness card was near some food, what do you think the food would be for your body?
well, much more healthier, because it's not only the vitality which increases, but the negative information decreases too. So the vegetable is purified by the food freshness card. So I started the new test already. The test of a jar of 1 liter water, put on the freshness card and on the earthing card. And I will show you results.
You've been testing. I love it.
We're testing. This is the water we start with.
Yeah.
These are the results of the test we just spoke to each other about.
Yeah.
And here you see the test with 24 hours, 1 liter. And you see, this was already amazing. I can't read it now from behind, but see you how it's almost 100,000.
Yes.
On the earthing card, and that's almost 150,000 for the freshness card.
Wow.
And this is really good, because I performed quite a lot of tests for people who said who had energy boards, but they never come higher than 90,000 bovine.
That's amazing. And you did that within a week.
And now in one day, in 24 hours.
So we're doing good.
Yes, you can say really that you are doing good, yes.
Now, Frank has tested water for big, huge companies, for cities. And he goes, people claim that they can, increase the energy in the bovine, the water. And their goal, these people's goal are 90,000 bovine. One day on the card, it hit 142,000 bovine. He goes, this is amazing. And this is just a little card. This isn't like $1 million device, because he also tests his monster machines and devices. And you heard him laughing because it's just not possible to do it like the increase that we did. That was just 24 hours. So this is my picture, and I kind of cheat. I have sticker versions on my picture, but you can put it on under a pitcher of water, and that's what he did to test. Now, there's a couple things on the bovine test. RJ, if you can go back in this a little bit, I want to show the actual chart real quick, because I want to go to the chart. Just hit the chart. All right. In the chart, stop there. Thank you. All right. You see the number 5 and 6, the negative information in the water and the electromagnetic load? Water picks up everything. Well, we all, everybody needs to turn on their computer and look how many hookups you have. If you're hooking up to 10 devices, your water's picking up EMF from 10 devices. I'm in the mountains in New Hampshire. I have 2 actually now, my neighbor's in town. That's it. All right. RJ in Boston had 21 hookups for EMF that his router was getting hit with, his water was getting hit with. Just by running water over the card, the electromagnetic load went from 2.89 to 2.1. That's huge. But the negative information is what he talked about. That's like the negativity in water. Let's just, people are positive, people are negative. Water picks up negative information. It got cut in half just by running water over the card. Now, the cool thing about this is you got to understand your body is water. My body is water. The majority of our bodies are water. No matter what anybody says, 60 to 70% of us is water. Water picks up everything. So, the best thing to do is keep a food freshness card near you. And I guess you're right. Since we're water, we're helping the water. You're helping the bottle, yourself. So water is good. And we are water. So I guess it's going to be good for us too. All right, RJ.
Yeah, the important thing to remember is that your blood is about 95% water. So it helps enormously with circulation. And that's what takes away a lot of pain.
Which is a beautiful thing. Thank you, Eric.
Well, the 70% is an average.
Exactly.
Your brain is also much higher than that, because the brain needs a lot of water. So it helps in so many ways. That's why I'm so intelligent.
There you go.
Hey.
All right, Eric. It's funny because Dr. Janine always explains a little what she's concerned about EMF for kids is because the brain is squishy with kids. It's got a lot of liquid in it. And she always calls it the squishy little brain. and she's really concerned. That's why she's adamant about the EMF shield for kids. So not to talk about the EMF shield, but if kids, squishy brains, a lot of water. All right, let's go to RJ. We got to go down to Australia.
Oh, let's hear from Harry.
Harry, first of all, thank you, Harry, for being up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Rick, I've been doing this, I think, close to 4 years now. And look, guys, I'm really excited because I'm really prepared for this tonight because I want to win this duty. But look, what I've done is I got Greek yogurt here, which is about 5 months old. I know it's still got the lid on it, but I can still eat that because that's fresh, right? That comes from our Woolies anyway, which is probably a bit like your, I'm not too sure what you got over there. And this custard here is already over 3 weeks old. It's 4 weeks old and I still ate it last night. It's just really beautiful, truly fantastic. You know what excites me? I got a loaf of bread. I shared this story some time ago. Sometime last year. And I had bread 7 months old in the fridge. Now, this is this baby here. This is a sister I bought. It's gluten-free like I showed before. And the date on this says it's frozen. Even though it's frozen, it's still in the fridge, in the freezer with a food freshness card, 14th of September, 2022. Now, I can still eat this baby, right? That's still fresh. Now, grapes. These grapes have been in the fridge for now 3 weeks, but look how fresh they are, sitting on a food freshness card. How about that? Man, I tell you what, God made this food for us, but you ain't seen nothing yet. You got to get this. Look, I'm excited. I want to protect my body. I have a belief we can live to 150. That card, I got that in 2017. That's still made by you, Rick, for another company that I joined. You know what? I sold some shares to invest in that company because I wanted to have a protection for my body. I've been wearing these things for years, you know. Anyway, and I checked that card tonight with the pendulum. I just asked, is this card still got life in it with the pendulum? You can see that pendulum's moving. I'm not moving that pendulum, baby. That's fantastic. Isn't that fantastic, eh? And look at this. Yep. These little things here, talk about plants, water. You just spritz this on yourself. You just get a water bottle from the local supermarket. I just spray everything. I spray my face, everything, you know. And this is what I love most of all. These little plants here, I put water on them before I leave. When I get back after 4 days, they're laying down. They're nearly dead. But look at that. That's as large as life after I've been home for 2 days. Isn't that fantastic? Now, I've got a wild tobacco plant here, which when I get home, she's really drooping down. Now, most people would look at this and say, why would you grow wild tobacco? Well, it's got life. It's providing oxygen. It's growing in the pot. I put Mother Mary in there just to remind people that everything comes from God anyway, you know? So there you are. And Rick, this is an orchid here that's been flowering since September last year. And all I do is just spritz it. I just say, I love you. You know, when you do this, you just say, I love you. Thank you so much. And I just do that. And look at that. Look how green the leaves are. Fantastic, you know? Unbelievable. And I also invested in your new invention of the food freshness card, which is a vitality card. Now, I sleep on 2 of these, and I sleep on 2 of the food freshness cards as well. So all I can say is that I'm excited. I believe in your product. I think everybody should know about the product. They're absolutely fantastic, you know? And all I can say is it'll help you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch these calls. It gives you true vitality. Thank you so much. I'll just turn myself around so you can see me. So, but there you are, Rick. I can't tell you any more, my baby.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Harry.
Man, you've got a beautiful product there.
You know, it's funny. I'm going to go. I have in my fridge, I just saw like some bread in there. They were hamburger buns from the summer. All right. And they're in my fridge. They're still good. And I just haven't got around to making hamburgers in the snow in the winter. But there's a pack of hamburger buns and they're fine. And the good for you state's going to be like June, you know, and we're in January. So again, we're making the good for you state kind of irrelevant, and we want everyone to eat healthy. So if we have anybody else, we'd love to hear from you. Lee Gibson, don't you eat healthy, Lee? I know you got to be loving our food.
The thing you have to remember, is that the
Yeah.
sell-by date is on the bag. So you throw the bag away and keep the food inside it.
All good. I love it. Just get rid of the bag and then no one will know. But the yogurt is irrelevant. Like there is no doubt about it. I have not thrown away yogurt since we invented the food freshness card, and neither's my wife. And she's throw everything out. Oh, the date, and dates are, that's a beautiful thing. So if anybody wants to unmute just and talk to us, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, if anyone has any stories, anything left who hasn't spoke, would like to speak, that would be phenomenal.
I have another story.
Tell us the tradition.
One of our other friends had a picnic with hot hamburger buns, July. Okay. And in September, she put a food freshness card, unfortunately, between them. And when September came along and she went to use them, the ones on the gold side were perfect. The ones on the back side, well, they weren't perfect. So it showed in one little group there what a huge difference that made.
That's phenomenal. We love hearing that. That is great. Let's see.
RJ, hamburger buns.
How old?
These, I gotta find the date, but it's from the summer. June 2023.
What is it now?
2023.
January 27, 24.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Gloria or anybody, can we get you to talk to us? We want to hear from everybody if possible.
Elizabeth, anybody where we haven't heard from, it would be great.
Just stick it in the chat or
Yes,
Lori, tell us, Lori.
Yes, the food freshness card was my first purchase from you guys. You guys were doing you had a booth at our California Jam, the Jam, the chiropractic conference.
We remember Cal Jam well.
Yes, we do.
And I was so impressed. I guess RJ had these lemons and he sliced one and he had me taste the lemon. I was like, okay, yeah, it tastes like lemon. And then he put one on the food freshness card and it was a better, delicious, it was different. I noticed the difference, so I bought it right away. That's my story. Thank you.
How long ago was that? That was
RJ, that had to be like 8 years ago. Cal Jam, it was in Anaheim. And I actually remember cutting lemons and we would do the lemon test. And the best way, in case you ever want to really mess with people, is you cut a lemon in a bunch of pieces. You put half of them on the food freshness card, put half of them away. Have them taste the one on the food freshness card first. It's sweet. Then they taste the other one and it's like, oh, you'll see their face go, oh, it's bitter. And they're like, no way is it the same lemon. And we're like, you just saw me cut it. All right. So it's kind of fun. It also works with really cheap wine. Just put the card over the wine for a little bit and watch what happens. It's kind of fun. So yeah, there's a wine test you can do with it and it really works well.
I think that kind of helped us win one of our first awards, the wine test, huh?
First, there was a show called Impacts, which is the America's best inventions in the Americas. And we actually bought $2 red wine from Trader Joe's. And the judges came by your booth and we showed them, the graph, and we showed them how the food lasts longer. And they're all like there. And then we said, all right, look. I opened up a bottle of Trader Joe's. It was called $2 Chuck back then. Nothing's $2, but it was red wine. We poured it. We put one on the glass and one on that. And we had them taste the one on the glass. Guy goes, this is good wine. I go, okay, now taste the other one. The guy's face went bitter, sour. He's like, you're kidding me. I'm like, you just saw me open that bottle. And he goes, you're playing games with me. I'm like, okay, let's do this again. So I opened up another bottle. He calls over all the other judges. All right. And they're like, you got to taste this. You got to see this. All the other judges come to our booth. I said, you open the bottle, you pour it. All right. And you put the card over one and you taste the one on my card. The guy goes, tastes good. Okay. Now taste the one over there that's not on the card. The guy's face went like, you are kidding. We won the award for Impacts. It was one of our first awards. We got a check for $3,500 also. And it was because of the
And a
wine.
big one.
Yeah, we got they gave us this huge check. Anyways, it was pretty funny. It was because of the wine that we won that. It wasn't everything, you know, you show them lab testing, you show them stuff, but they didn't believe it. It's like, oh, well, you know, a lot of people fake tests and blah, blah, blah. But when they tasted the wine, it put them over the top, and it put us over the top. And it was funny. We're sitting there and they're giving all these awards for stuff. And RJ and I are sitting there. Well, I guess we didn't win anything. And the last one that called it was us. And we're like, whoa, that's us. Anyways, it was very cool. But that was Impacts, which is the world's largest, the America's largest invention show. And we won it. RJ, do we have anybody else?
If anyone else can think of anything, we would love to hear them. In the meantime, I just want to show 2 quick videos, the tomato and the breads. They gotta be shown.
All right, you got to show them. We love it.
We got to show this. So this is, tell me you see tomatoes, right?
We see tomatoes, Arj.
Here we go.
All right. As this is going, look at the bottom left. I love that. Look at the bottom left tomato right there. It grew a stem. All right. The stems on the left are all healthy. The stems on the right are all mold filled. All right. This tomato tried to live and grow, and it grew a stem. After 40 days, the ones on the left are still edible, and the ones on the right are probably now full with bugs.
And keep in mind, this is from the same vine.
These are vine ripe tomatoes, and it's pretty huge. And this is like an amazing test. This is bread, same loaf. The lab puts it in 2 bags. One goes on the food freshness card. Hit play, and again, same loaf of bread. And after 2 months, this is what normally happens. You get mold. 3 months, you get more mold. 4 months, 5 months, it's a penicillin project with lots of mold. And that's 6 months. We actually stopped the test because we have to pay for this. And the guy's like, this is insane. No one's even going to believe you lasted 2-3 months, let alone 6. We're like, you're right. Okay, we're done paying for this. But that's the same loaf of bread. That's huge. So, you know, basically, food is getting more and more expensive. Like, I noticed it. And we want to keep everybody healthy. And which would you rather eat? I wouldn't want to touch. I don't even want to open a bag on the one on the right. So anyways, these are all pretty cool things we had to share. So, RJ, anybody else want to take a shot? We're going to give a food freshness card to the best stories.
Rick, it's Harry from Australia, Rick.
Yes, Harry.
I've got mozzarella cheese here, which I bought. It's still good. You can see it's fresh. You can still use it. It says used by the 3rd of the 5th, 23. Right? It's about eight months old now. Right? And you can still use that cheese. I'm telling you, I'm going to turn this camera around just for proof and evidence so you guys can see I'm not faking this. Got to see if I can work this camera. I can't work cameras and see. Computers.
You got to move the camera. There you go.
That's the cheese there. So he bought it at $1.50. Who would buy cheese for $1.50 and keep it for 8 months and still eat it? You know, isn't that crazy? But there you are. It just goes to show you that's a fact. There's no mold. It's just amazing, mate. That's still edible anyway. You know, so that's not going in the bin. That's going in Harry, because that'll help me keep me going. You know. All right.
You know,
anyway, that's great.
No, Harry, I love that, because that cheese was probably on sale because the Good For You state was coming up.
That's
but
right.
Harry knows about it.
Yeah, well, it said here it was reduced from $7.20. So if you really work your nut and you buy these cards, which are very cheap anyway, you can save so much on your groceries. Truly, it's amazing, amazing. You know, I've had cheese in the fridge for like 3 to 4 months, no mold. You know. It's incredible, really. You can still eat it, and it doesn't. Yeah, it's just fantastic. I'm not scabby. It's just that I'm just frugal. That's all. I'm wise.
Wise.
Harry, I love it. You know, RJ, that wins. Harry,
I think yeah,
that wins hands down because first of all, understand it took $7 cheese that was on sale at $1.70 because they're afraid the supermarket's going to throw it out 8 months ago. 8 months ago, it's still good today. And Harry can eat it and he's going to be fine and live to 150.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it.
Yeah, you
All
got to
right.
believe.
Thank
My
you,
final
Harry. Is there
sto-
anybody
my
else I
final-
can get on?
Yeah, my final story is I'm 86 on the 16th of January, and my sell-by date passed about 15 years ago, according to the averages of a British person, and I'm still around. So I'm still fresh. My girlfriend tells me regularly.
I love it. Harry, Eric's in Singapore, loving life. Eric, you look great, Eric, and we love keeping you healthy.
Yeah, look at my skin. Yeah,
we love it. Well, you know, RJ, I think we got it all.
I think we got it. If anyone else would like to chime in with any stories, we would love that. But if not, I think it might be time to give away something.
Yeah, it is. So, you know what else, Arch? I think you should cut the live feed so nobody gets